I think the name says it all. Deep dish, double crust, chicken Alfredo pizza. There is a controversy in this land, ladies and gentlemen, and it is not political at all. Has nothing to do with the coronavirus. It has everything to do with where deep dish stands versus thin flat. The Chicagoans believe a deep dish is the only one to have. New Yorkers, New Jerseyans, other parts of the country. Oh, what's that? The only one, a flat, crispy pizza. We're gonna make a deep dish today. 2 crusts, dos crusts, with chicken Alfredo and artichokes on the inside. Then another crust on top, then tomato sauce, then more cheese. Oh, sorry, wrong accent. That was New Jersey. That does not, I don't know, how do you do a Chicago accent? Hey.
Chicago.
Our own Chicago.
Chicago, the windy city.
We'll start by making our own Alfredo sauce.
Sounded a little Canadian.
I can't help it, it's all I got. Into a little pot, we're gonna add, too hot, it'll be okay. The volume will help, about a cup and a half. Screw it. A pint of whipping cream. We're gonna save that little bit for. Now we want this to start to warm up, and as it does, we're gonna add some garlic. So you don't want it to burn, so give it a little stir. Let it start to warm for a little bit. Then we're gonna add some garlic. I've got 2 cloves in my garlic press. What is this garlic gonna do, Max? Better answer right, or I will step on your foot.
Get hot in there?
It will start to infuse this cream with this gorgeous garlic flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
Thought that was pretty obvious. And then, of course, we just can't leave it at that. We don't want just any old Alfredo sauce, do we, Chance?
Oh, no.
So we'll add a couple other things. A little oregano. Or as they say in Italy, a little, I don't know, Oregano. Dried, of course. A little Basil. Would be basil. Or as they say in Canada, basil. Basil. Little pinch of red pepper flake. Lovely. Yes, some salt and pepper. And yes, to a little butter. Just for thickening, Max. And we'll mix. And I know somebody's looking at this going, hey, hold on there, Jewish Canadian boy. That doesn't look like any Alfredo sauce I've ever made. Well, Alan, let me tell you this. Maybe your mother was a shitty cook. Maybe your mother didn't know how to step out beyond the bounds of cream and cheese. And oh yes, cheese is coming.
Wow, I can't believe you just called out Alan's mom like that.
Well, maybe Alan's mom needed to be called out. If Alan's calling me out, Alan's mom needs to be.
We could leave the mothers out of this.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You can say anything you want to Mike Tyson, but you disrespect his mother, you get stomped. And by the way, just for the record, I was not calling out Mike Tyson's mother.
Oh shit.
I was merely using her as just to show how much respect you should pay to a mother.
Screwed.
So this Max, can you smell what's happening here?
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm going to leave this on the simmer when it gets there. Now we'll attend to our crust. We're making our own Alfredo sauce. I don't think we need to make everything. Store-bought pizza dough. I preferred a round one, but the place was... hey, birds. I love little birds chirping. But the place was out of them. Could I have gone someplace else? Yes, of course I could have. Obviously, I chose not to. So here's what we're dealing with. I said double crust, so I need 2 of these. I'll have a second one. So pull it out gently. That's what she said. Stupid. It's a good one though, no?
People are always quoting the things that you say that have somehow some sexual innuendos.
No, that's the stupidest, oldest. Okay, look, here we go.
Just poke it in a little bit.
Just stop it.
Whip it out, you also said a bunch yesterday.
I did?
Yes.
Sorry.
Just whip it
All right,
out.
so look what we've got. Here's what we've got. We have 1 crust. Here's what this is going in. The springform pan that I borrowed from Matt and Peg up the street because I don't own one. A springform pan does this. It's what you would make a cheesecake in. You make it in here, and then when you go to serve it, once it's chilled, you undo, and then it sits right here. The problem is, if you don't have this, you're trying to get it out of a container, and that doesn't work. But this is the thing. I need this to be the size of this across the bottom and up the sides. So what do, Max? We flatten it out a little bit. And here's how that happens. So we'll take this guy off. I'm gonna put some flour on my surface. I love that. And then the crust goes on. Oh shit.
Jesus.
I got off the shirt. And this shirt has a very special meaning today that we're gonna get to. But not now, so stop it. Go back to the crust. Peel the paper off. Come on, come on. Come on, baby. So it's certainly long enough, but I want it up the sides. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give it a little more flour. And then roll it out a bit. I know people are surprised. Dude's got a rolling pin? Well, he does. Doesn't always use it. Okay, this is pretty thin, so I can't get too crazy with it, but we hope that this, see, it needs to be bigger, but I have no choice, I have to go. Before I put it in the pan, I'm gonna give the pan a spray. I do not wanna take a chance that this shit sticks in any way. Now, my rolling pin goes in the middle. I take my dough and I roll it over, and didn't fucking work. I have no hope of this thing ever turning out, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, watch. Now we go like this.
But watch to the end of the video to find out.
But watch the video to find. Okay, so look it. This is actually okay. Now we gently push down. And this side here, as you're about to see, is going to be a little short. And that's okay. I can take extra dough and fix that. I just want it to come up most of the way, so we're going to be all right. I'm trying to just go right to the sides so it's even-ish all the way around. You help it, you help it, you help it. You take your knife, you cut some off the outside, and then we're going to go like this. Same thing on this side. You see where I'm going here, Max? Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be close. I got a little hole right here. Look, I'm prepared to admit my mistakes. So I'll just take a little piece and repair that. What I don't want is stuff leaking out on the bottom. And here's the problem. I would have preferred a smaller springform pan, but this was a very last minute episode and I didn't know what we were doing, and then I had this idea and I don't own one. I had to well, I'm boring you. Okay, before we get to the insides, let's check our Alfredo sauce, and look how pretty it is. Little bubbles breaking on the surface. Oh my. Maybe I don't need more cheese. Let's check the thickness. Oh, We're gonna add a little bit more. Oh boy, look at that. Okay. So maybe we'll end up using 1.5 cups. 1.33 cups. Just let it do its thing for a bit, but we need to taste it. Max, I think we need to taste it before we go any further, no? It'll get a little thicker over the next couple minutes, but that's pretty. Shall we taste it? I mean, when I say we, I mean me. Oh my God. Okay, if that was the only test, ladies and gentlemen, I believe I've died and gone to fricking Alfredo heaven. And yes, I said fricking because I feel like I'm swearing too much. And every time I say this, a handful of you will say, yes, you are swearing too much. And then a larger handful will say, don't change it, because if you do, it'll change you. Now we can deal with the insides. In addition to the most amazing, best ever epic Alfredo sauce. The two other things go in here. One is chicken, stay right there, right here. From a deli roasted chicken or a chicken you made or a chicken you grilled or smoked. Just chicken. Pulled apart into beautiful pieces. And marinated artichoke hearts. Why marinated? They're softer, they're a little gentler. Sorry. And they've got that little briny olive oil thing going on. And if you get the right kind, you get pieces like this that make for the perfect bite. And when this ends up in the pizza with this, and this, and this, in this, come on, it's gonna be amazing. No idea what I just picked up, but. So let's put our insides in the pan. Yes? Yes. First in the pan, we're gonna build a little layer of protection so our sauce doesn't drip out. And we're gonna use shredded mozzarella cheese. We won't put a huge layer, but a nice layer across. If we put sauce directly on this bottom dough layer, I think we're gonna be up for trouble. It's been a while since I've made this, but now we get to come in with our sauce. And this is a single layer of marinara, of tomato sauce. We've made it many times before. Yes, of course, you could use your own, Yes, of course, you could use jarred, but wait a second. I mean, jarred sauce. Maybe you get it from some special little Italian place in New Jersey or Chicago or wherever. But in general, jarred sauce is not my favorite. I was gonna say in general, jarred sauce sucks, but I felt like that might be a little too strong for some people. Now it's a combination of both chicken and artichoke, and we wanna put them down, mix them, and then add the Alfredo. So let's go like this. Throw some chicken in. I don't know if you have any idea how great this is gonna be when it's finished. Now some choke. We mix. We add more chicken. Gorgeous. Mix. At this point, I'm going to add a little sauce. It's going to look like this. Do you see how? Oh my God. Do you have a sense of what this is going to do? The smell. Look, I think you can tell how something's going to be by how it smells when you're building it. And this smells ridiculous. So just a little bit. Make sure mostly everything's covered. And you don't have to worry too much because we're going to add another layer of both. So another big handful of chicken. Try and be even with it. Artichoke. So this is a big pan. This is about a 9.5 or 10-inch springform pan. So I'm having to use a lot, and I think I'm using almost 2 cups of each. One more layer of the sauce. We happy with that? Next, we've cut the circle out for the top, and it goes like a blanket. Like this, right to the edges. Now this little edge part that we've got, we don't need all of this. So we're gonna cut all the way around and just get the super excess off. But we're gonna take what remains and then bring it down like this. And sort of just fold it in to make like a proper edge. And if this is not perfect, we're gonna be okay, because you'll see why in a second. When this is done, we take our knife, make a few cuts, pot. We had 2 more things. A little bit more of our sauce. And I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. I don't want you to go crazy here. Just a nice layer. A flavor layer, we'll call this. And that makes sense in my head. Whether it makes sense in anybody else's, I don't care. And finally, a little more of the shredded mozzarella. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. The only thing left to do is get it in the oven. This should take anywhere between, 45 minutes and an hour, hour 10, depending on your oven, at about 425 degrees. The crust will be brown. It'll be a bubbly. It'll be gorgeous. That's when it's gonna come out. And we'll let it sit. We're gonna let it sit a little bit to settle, to firm up. When you see it next, it will have done that. We'll be ready to cut it. While we're waiting for the Chicago deep dish 2-crust chicken artichoke Alfredo pizza to cook, I wonder if you noticed anything about what I was wearing. Well, you can really only see me from the waist up, so forget the bikini from down here.
The Speedo?
The Speedo. Can you imagine? Good God.
Thong Speedo?
Do you notice? You've seen me wear a Vote for Lewis shirt. Do you notice anything different about this one?
Yep.
It's this. See that cute little heart? That adorable, tiny little heart. Do you know what that means? That means that 100% of the profits of this limited edition shirt, 100%, goes to the San Diego Humane Society for their PAWS, P-A-W-S, program. And the PAWS program helps people out that are in need, that have pets that are having a hard time taking care of, feeding of, being responsible for their pets. It's a great program. And you could have your very own Vote for Lewis t-shirt with the little heart right there. And other people would be like, is that the San Diego Humane Society shirt that 100% of the profits go to their PAWS program? You'd be like, yeah, this is me supporting the dogs in San Diego. And if you don't like San Diego, you probably will still like dogs and you can support. But that begs a bigger question. If you don't like San Diego, does that mean you don't like me, Max, Jilly, and dreamy-eyed Chance that you could win a date with? So hit the merch shelf below this video. That's where the only place you can buy it, the only place. 100% of the profits. You got to feel good about that. And by the way, if you're watching this March 2nd, 2020, tomorrow is March 3rd, also Super Tuesday. I say, vote for Lewis. Why not? Why not, right? Vote for Lewis. You come out, there's a reporter there. Hi, we're just getting some information. Who'd you vote for? I voted for Lewis.
I stand with Lewis.
Watch the faces. Watch the look on their faces. Vote for Lewis. And support San Diego Humane Society. And by the way, this amazing limited edition shirt is available only in the month of March 2020. And ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. It's now pulled away from the sides. The crust is firm. A little puffy here, but I cannot wait. I know what's waiting for me on the inside of this, and honestly, I cannot stand to wait any longer.
The question remains, is it pizza?
We unlock the key, and we pull up the sides. Look at that. That's effing tremendous. We could even take it off the bottom sheet. How am I gonna do this? Oh. Look it. Look it, it's there. Doo-doo. The proper cut, we could turn this into a Pac-Man in like seconds. Let's cut a wedge. Here we go. Oh, Shall we? Oh my God, look at. Do you see what's happening here? Because I do. I mean, generally, I wouldn't say this, but this particular pizza is definitely a fork knife proposition. So let's have a look at the inside. Oh, look at. Oh, this board is so heavy. That is one beautiful inside. You got your layers. I see chicken. I see artichoke. I see top crust under here. Wow. It's going to be delicious. It's amazing. It's this. It's this. Look, not everybody looks at this like it's pizza. Jilly doesn't. Jilly has no idea what this is. Granted, she's from Canada. Edmonton, world's first indoor mall. Or largest or something like that. This to her is nonsense. This to me is, well, hang on, let me tell you. It's just gorgeous. And the Alfredo sauce that we made is going to make this bite it's effing perfect. If you want more crust, you come back to the back and you break that and you cut that and you see artichoke and you see chicken and you see these great freaking bites. Look, one good slice and I'd be out because it's so thick. It's a fun thing to do. A really delicious fun thing to do. So don't do the same thing all the time. Make something different. Give this a try. You only need to go to Matt and Peg's house and borrow a springform pan. Look, if you're a cheesecake person, you've got one. If you don't, you probably got a neighbor. Dig? Thanks for liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, and hanging out with us. We really, really, really appreciate it. See ya.